Manny Robles. On Saturday night, he said nothing had been agreed. We're here on Monday, and you just announced over there that
Manny Robles said that.
Yeah, but
With all due respect to Manny Robles, he wasn't part of the contract that was signed by Andy Ruiz, by Tom Brown, and by others as well. So I read the whole interview where he said, "We know we have a contract, and we will be taking the fight," and etc. They do have some questions, which I would expect them to have. They've already signed the contract for the rematch. I don't blame the trainer for maybe not knowing all the details for that, but all the governing bodies have been written to by myself and by Andy Ruiz's promoter to confirm where the fight's taking place and the date of that fight, and contractually they are bound by that.
But there's question marks over Andy Ruiz not promoting this fight yet.
Because he wants some questions answered. He's got some leverage as well. I think he wants his own plane for his jewellery that he's bought since the fight. So he's completely bound into this fight. There are some things that he may want in this fight. He wants some questions answered, which I would be asking the same questions as well. But like I said, both camps have written to the governing bodies to confirm the date and the venue for this fight.
One of the reports that came out said that Andy Ruiz wants more money than what the first. So he is going to get more money than what the.
He's got a contract for that. But of course, look, Andy Ruiz got one of the greatest gifts of all time. He was picked off the list of fights, $20 million, where he hadn't earned a tenth of that in the past. He got a shot at the world heavyweight title. Unfortunately for him, or fortunately for him, that comes with a watertight rematch clause. Okay, with all the information set forth within. By the way, that rematch clause was negotiated by him and his team. So they were over the moon with that deal. Over the moon with that deal. Since he's won, all his mates are telling him, "Getting this, you should be getting that." So really, he's probably not that happy he's got a fight in St. Joshua again. Contractually, he has to. So does he want more money for the fight? Absolutely. Do we have to give it to him? Absolutely not. But we will make sure he's happy and respected as a world champion. I like Andy Ruiz, but he has an obligation as a man to honour what he agreed and what he signed.
Junior on BoxRec. It's rated 5 stars. He's ranked number 1 in the U.S. right now, and he's ranked number 1 in the world because he has almost all the belts in the heavyweight division. He's 29 years old. When you look at Andy Ruiz Jr. on BoxRec, you see right there, you see the date, December 7th, 2019. Andy Ruiz just came on social media saying the fight isn't happening. According to BoxRec, the fight is already scheduled to happen. I don't think the fight is scheduled to happen will be scheduled to happen if Andy Ruiz hasn't signed to fight Anthony Joshua. Either Andy Ruiz Jr. is a pathological liar, or he's just doing that as a way to promote the fight. But that's a bad way to promote the fight, because when you look on BoxRec, the fight is already scheduled. Now let's look at the event. Where will it be? Well, it says pending approval. It says pending approval. Maybe Andy Ruiz, maybe he's not lying, but it's pending approval. Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, for the WBA, IBF, WBO, and IBO. It does say pending approval, but when you look on BoxRec, the fight is already there and scheduled. So is Andy Ruiz lying? Is Eddie Hearn lying? When you see this on BoxRec, you think Andy Ruiz is lying. But I'm not going to rush and say Andy Ruiz is lying, which I was about to do, because it's already confirmed on BoxRec. When it's confirmed on BoxRec, look like most likely he signed the contract already. But when you look at the event, it does say pending approval.
He's talking about the fight and all that, but coming soon, but the fight is gonna happen soon. AJ got the rematch. Yes, we do got the rematch. We taking that rematch, champ? Of course. But it's gonna be on my term and our term. We're gonna bring it back here in the United States. AJ low, he's scared. Oh yeah, why do you think he's over there trying to make the fight over there in Saudi Arabia? We're gonna bring it back here in the United States. AJ low, he's scared. Oh yeah, why do you think he's over there trying to make the fight over there in Saudi Arabia? Like I said, I don't have no protection over there. The United States of America wants to. Never mind, I can't say nothing. But the fight is gonna happen soon. Over there, the United States of America wants to. Never mind, I can't say nothing. But the fight is gonna happen soon.
There you have it, guys. Andy Ruiz is starting to feel himself. I mean, he's sitting on his high horses. He's got his new Rolls Royce. He has a new house. Bought his mom a house. The guy's just feeling himself. He got the greatest gift in the boxing gods could give him, and that was a fight with Anthony Joshua. They gave him a fight with Anthony Joshua, and he had the opportunity of getting Joshua when Joshua was at his most vulnerable. His first time in the U.S. He won the fight. Now, he's feeling himself. He's already signed a contract, but it looks like he want to renege. He says he has no protection. He don't want to go to Saudi Arabia. Do I believe this fight is happening in Saudi Arabia? Well, it's on BoxRec, guys. So, once it's on BoxRec, it looks like it's official. The event is there, even though it says pending approval. But it's on BoxRec. But, we'll find out if Andy Ruiz is lying or Eddie Hearn is lying. Pretty soon we'll find out who's the liar in this situation. Andy Ruiz is saying he's not going over there. Let's see if he's a man of his word and not stick to what he's saying. Stay in the U.S. since he's the heavyweight champion. He should have a say. But Eddie Hearn said the only say he should have is if he should get a plane to put his jewelry on there. Eddie Hearn's a clown. I'm not a big Eddie Hearn fan either. But Eddie Hearn seems relaxed. He seems like he knows this fight is going to happen. Like I said, it's on BoxRec. The event is up there, even though it still says pending approval. You guys already know my prediction. I think Andy Ruiz is going to lose the rematch. Whether it's in Saudi Arabia or the Americas, he's still going to lose. So Andy Ruiz, in my opinion, I think he knows that. He knows he caught Joshua at a moment where Joshua was vulnerable. And I think he's still in shock that he beat Joshua. I know he don't think he can beat Joshua again. Like, I seriously don't believe Andy Ruiz, seriously, in his mind, think he could beat Joshua again. He probably went into the first fight trying to put up a good fight, but I don't think he thought he was going to win either. He looked shocked when he won the fight, in my opinion. He looked shocked. But, hey, guys, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, right? I felt like Andy Ruiz looked shocked. Like, wow, I actually pulled it off. But it is what it is. He won the fight fair and square. In my opinion, he's going to lose the rematch fair and square, too. He's going to lose by a devastating knockout because AJ is out for blood, out for revenge.
Negotiated by him and his team. So they were over the moon with that deal. Over the moon with that deal. Since he's won, all his mates are telling him, you should be getting this, you should be getting that. So really, he's probably not that happy he's got to fight Anthony Joshua again. Contractually, he has to. So does he want more money for the fight? Absolutely. Do we have to give it to him? Absolutely not. But we will make sure he's happy and respected as a world champion. I like Andy Ruiz, but he has an obligation as a man terms of the decisions, etc., etc. So there is no new contract. We've followed the original contract, which is we decide where the fight takes place, etc. We've done that. The governing bodies have been written to by both camps to confirm the fights, and that's what we'll be at.
It's about where there might be a sense of unhappiness when from Andy Ruiz's side that they haven't had more of a say in the rematch.
They don't get a say, but they have had a say because we've given it to him on a neutral venue. So and you know, at the end of the day, Andy Ruiz got a remarkable gift from us. He got a shot at the world heavyweight title for a lot of money, and as we know in boxing, when that happens, there is also a rematch clause in place. So he is contractually bound for that fight. He will take that fight. He will try and win that fight. He may win that fight, but you know, one of the reasons that he got that gift is with all the other terms that came with it. So you know,
There you have it, guys. Eddie Hearn sets the record straight. Andy Ruiz Jr. is bound to the contract that he signed initially. There is no new contract. The fight happens. He cried about the location, and they put the location on neutral grounds, but he doesn't get to pick where the fight happens. They could have just said the fight happens in the UK, but they wanted it neutral. But let me know how you. It's Eddie Hearn telling the truth. Is everything really in the contract? Do Andy Ruiz really have a say? And do you think Andy Ruiz is lying about not going to Saudi Arabia? In my opinion, Eddie Hearn seems to believe everything is already set in stone. Only time will tell. And only time will tell. I'm not the biggest Eddie Hearn fan, but Eddie Hearn looks like, in this case, he knows what he's talking about. And Andy Ruiz is just panicking and freaking out from what I'm seeing. But whether or not it happens in Saudi Arabia or not, Joshua will get his belts back. That's my opinion. But leave your comments in the comment section.